it is actually, I guess, in a moment. But to start off game number 2, spawning the bottom left side of the map, is Pink, she's Zerg, she's Scarlett.
In the top right, as the blue Terran, he is Drunkenboi.
All right, so to explain and elaborate a little bit on this, oh my god, is she gonna do it again?
Oh wow!
Wow! You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Damn.
To explain this really quick, then before the game gets started. There's a tournament that runs regularly called the SC2 Improved Team League, and it is a team league. Scarlett, however, being on Acer, has only Bly as a teammate, and that's not enough to compete and qualify. So I guess with permission of Wardy, her, State, Patience, and a couple others have gotten together and created this On Fire team so that they can play in the team league. She is still, as far as I'm aware, 100% involved with Acer, but this is just the team league stuff.
Wow! Whoa!
That rally.
Yeah, that rally though. So the place that Bly most commonly puts it is off to the right at what Drunkenboi's like 5th basically would have been.
Where the rally is.
Yes, where the other rally is, right? But putting it over here, this is also the case where the Reaper would not scout this unless you actually direct the Reaper over there. Oh, is she doing like Bronze League tactics right now? You for real?
Talk to me, bruh. But okay,
Tell me about your day. What happened?
Here's the real talk about this though. We mentioned this before. Your Reaper can scout this, and it still might not be enough. It really, like, the perfect reaction and the perfect mess-ups out of Zerg have to come together to hold this properly. Scarlett was 17, and I believe, too, didn't she, like, she was off by, like, a couple of points. It wasn't by much.
Oh, God,
I remember reading...
so much discussion about it.
There was a lot of drama about the ladder qualifiers, too.
Yes.
And you know what? A lot of that was done and made possible thanks to no rules.
Well, yes, that is certainly true. But I know a lot of people were like, ragging on her for playing the EU ladder up until then. But this is going to be different. She's changing it up. She's going for a Baneling Nest.
How dare you get better at this game?
Well, I mean, she was rank. I think people were really mad because she was rank 1 for so long and apparently so easily, and then just dropped off. So people were just like, "What's the deal?" But
well,
whatever.
There's actually something important to be said about that, though, right? Where the idea is that you want to encourage people to keep playing the ladder. The whole point was like it sucked that Pult would come in for like a week, play a tournament, then leave. So they want people to keep playing.
Yeah.
So in that way, like I don't have a lot of sympathy. Like, okay, you got one, no problem. Then you stop playing. Like, well, how's that help everyone else? So I don't know, but regardless of personal thoughts and feelings, this Baneliness aspect of this is kind of cool. That Reaper should not have died, unfortunately it did, but killed a creep tumor, so almost weirdly worth it trying to stop that creep spread, because Drunkenboi, he might be assuming roaches and ravagers, but Scarlett straight up said, oh, it's not on purpose, it was an accident.
Yeah. I
thought she was announcing, I made a Baneling Nest, look out.
Well, that's really awkward.
But okay, here's the problem still though. Ravagers, with Corsair Gear especially, they've got the range. So these bunkers will eventually be kind of whittled down if she's got enough of them. She's actually mining off this base.
She Bronze League tactic herself.
She did.
She was talking to him to try and mess him up.
And then she built a Baneling Nest instead.
She made a Baneling Nest. That's karma. This is going to be held now. This should be an easy hold. I mean, we could have gone if there was an actual roach war and the roaches were already ravagers, like attacking a supply depot.
Queen's run! Queen's run!
We've been going on and on about how Bly still makes this work against no matter any defenses whatsoever.
Ooh.
But hitting so late,
she's gonna still bust this. This, you know what? This may end up for the better, depending. No, I think that tank's gonna be too good. It's gonna snipe off the Banelings before it touches the depots, and even if you break the depots, you can't exactly run in. Now, it's really dumb, right? But she does have an admirable amount of workers, and she's taking a natural back at home, so...
When she said feels bad man, that was supposed to be feels bad M-N-A, as in full N-A.
Oh, wow. You Illuminati'd the shit out of that.
You all know it's true. This is very odd. So this actually wouldn't be... Funnily enough... Proxy hatch, just for the sake of proxy hatching, was a build that Terrans were having trouble with, and a spine crawler was too. They were having a lot of trouble with too. Back in midway through Heart of the Swarm, it fell off hard though. People really stopped doing it, but it was obnoxious. You had to deal with the spine crawler, you had to get a tank, and back then you couldn't lift it and move it around. You have to clear up creep, which receded a lot slower in Heart of the Swarm, so it actually played into not getting your natural. But one, your natural is behind you on Orbital Shipyard, so this isn't denying any base. Two, like, tanks are a lot better, you know. And three, creep doesn't recede slowly. It recedes actually pretty fast now. So even if there was a third orbital...
Oh, nice step on the tank.
Tank. Hey, nice. It wouldn't like take forever to clear up the creep like it did used to.
Actually, the funny thing about this creep spread is it's enough to block out a wall if it actually knocks down one of those depots.
It's almost there. It's got hopes and dreams.
And tanks are starting to get shuffled around. Scarlett's got a couple of transfuses almost ready to go, but I don't know. Without I almost wonder what this would look like if she dropped some overlords in the main. She's still trying to play recovery. We do have
Spire.
the Spire up next.
It's not a bad idea. She can buy enough time to get up to like 8 or 10 mutas that will both pick off the tanks and medevacs and maybe continue harassing. But I don't think she has anything back home for a drop. The build calls for making all of your army units on the other side of the map.
Yeah, defending against this could be actually a very big problem. Starting to slowly get pushed out. Drunkenboi handling the situation much better than expected. Scarlett just spreading hella creep all over the map. She's gonna spread that backwards and come home. So maybe this won't be so hard to manage. Laser SEQ donates $2 and says the Queen hates anything which blocks the sun. Nerf the Golden Armada. Love an anonymous Zerg Queen. Oh, he's starting to roleplay this shit. I love it.
We're gonna get the bot in soon. Daddy Rifkin.
No, it's Papa Rifkin. Excuse me.
Oh, my bad.
Respect. Banelings do manage to come in, but the pickup out of Drunkenboi is pretty quick. I will say this much for him. His micro is actually pretty good, so seeing like split-second pickups like that are not too crazy.
That's not gonna help. Move the drones.
If there's one of us, they won't deem us a threat. They don't give a fuck about the Banelings either. They just walk. They tackled that shit like football players. Super Bowl Sunday was last weekend, man.
She's gonna go up to a third base. This shouldn't be canceled. Ravagers, please respond. Please respond. Ravagers, please. And she has all this creep spread on the other side of the map that's gonna reach her base. Oh, save the Muta! Save the world.
So someone in the chat just remarking how entertaining these games have been, regardless of good or bad. And I'll tell you what, this has been true for the North American region so far. It has been a lot more like a gladiator arena over here, where it's not like, oh my god, these are the best games I've ever seen in my life. That guy got beheaded in like 2 seconds flat. But it's like, okay, you know what? These are really fun. These are really entertaining. These are not what I expected StarCraft to be.
Yeah. That is one of the biggest reasons why I'm starting to love the NA qualifiers more and more. This game is not over yet. It is probably soon going to be over, as Scarlett's not in the best position. But we'll see. I mean, Drunkenboi could be very scared. He's probably put in a position that he's not comfortable with, but he does have a very, very decent army, especially controlled correctly. And eventually he'll roll off of creep. This is the only game you'll see where it would have been an offensive Baneling attack that would have done better than a defensive one in ZVT. And even that's being cleaned up. This
push is just so massive. I mean, as long as he doesn't get drawn back home, if he wants to put this in a base trade, he wins that base trade every single time.
Yeah. Does she even have any more Banelings? No. She has no links.
She's got 4. Excuse you, Zombie Grove.
They just popped, okay? There's 22 production. Oh, God. The mutas aren't even doing anything. Like, they are having free reign, and they can't find anything to do.
I've got the perfect setup for the end of this game, by the way. I cannot.
Can't wait for it? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait either. 15 Banelings on the way. They do have Baneling speed, but no real creep to help them, as even these creep tumors get cleaned up. The Neuters are going to come back, and, well, they should have tried to pick off these tanks, but there's 5 of them. That's a very tall order for just 9 mutas.
Yeah. The Stim Marines, by the way, too, even prior to right now, when they only had like 3 or 4 in the middle of the map, they're doing a great job picking off a lot of the mutas. Shout out to Mark Crownstars for that 22-month resub. Ooh, 2 of them get picked off immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, he's going to take a 3rd. Drunkenboi not sweating this.
Scarlett took a 4th/3rd.
I mean, actually, I do like the attempt to do this, but Drunkenboi is just going to lift to the main, focus on that Spire. She's going to be forced to react, and he's got a bit of a safety spot to run back to, because those tanks will cover most of the, I guess, evac site, if you want to call it that. Decides to go for the upgrades because Scarlett does have at least that much going for her in this situation. But as we see, Marines are just covered by all sorts of tank fire. Scarlett on fire because of tank shells.
Yeah. The Midas tried another counterattack, but there's a lot of Marines waiting for them, so they come back home to once again try and kill a couple of tanks.
Tanks have a really stupid name. I didn't realize their attack is called the Crucio Shock Cannon. It's called a shock cannon, man. That sounds so much cooler. What is this Crucio?
Crucio! It's a spell in Harry Potter.
Is it actually?
Pain. Yeah, it's the one that gives the pain.
God damn it. All right, this attack ends up failing. I'm actually really impressed she cleans this up. However, she's still not exactly in a hot spot this game. Loses her whole army to do this. And Drunkenboi does have round 2 starting to head across the map. Third base down means he's got a lot of income for him. Not a problem. Scarlett also, as well, manages to establish a base that Drunkenboi does not yet know about. But I don't know, if he keeps pushing and doesn't throw away too many units to Banelings, I think he should be good to still take this game. But this is a worrying part where, you know, does Drunkenboi throw a game in this situation? Because we've seen it happen before. The best players have thrown the dumbest games.
If she had a Spire, I would say there's a very real possibility. As this would have been up to a count, I think 11 mutas before a couple of them died with the minerals and gas bank she has. And that would have actually been not even that decent, but, you know, better amount of mutas to counterattack. But without that Spire, having to wait for it, she's just going to have to hope that Drunkenboi miscontrols his Marines, which is a very real possibility. Like, the fact that he's up 30 army supply would instantly just, you know, go away if he leaves a tank in one place, gets surrounded by Lings. If he doesn't split his Marines, they'll get hit by 2 Banelings. If she got burrowed Banelings, that would really help too. I mean,
that's her forte from the past. I'm not sure how it is nowadays. So she beat Bomber in that one really epic game we watched on the Papa John Pizza GG VOD night.
Yeah, and I taught in class. The more you know.
Nice.
The creep spread was going to meet, and I was looking forward to it, but then Drunkenboi cleans it up, and they'll never
what
have
a
true
dick.
love. It's Valentine's Day, give him a break. But those medevac drops were not scouted whatsoever. There's no overlords on that side. And they are going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, dead space in the main. Scarlett does have 2-2, I'll give it that much. Lings and Banelings can be really effective against Marines, especially cutting off reinforcements like this, but nothing to stop the attack of the main. He focuses down that Baneling nest like nobody's business, so no more Banelings to worry about. Makes this game a lot easier to manage, but oh, just give away the SCVs. Don't lower that depot.
Wow, what a counterattack. What a counterattack.
This is
that
actually
really good.
Yeah, the Command Center is not going to get the finish. He's going to have to cancel that maybe. Drop in the main does get pushed back. Not killed yet, but pushed back. Second attack in the north pushing forward. Scarlett's got a handful of Banelings, but that's all she's going to have.
Huh. Yeah, and she's back to 3 bases, though.
He's
the
not
4th
splitting.
base should be canceled again.
On creep.
This was not a bad fight at all.
The mutas will be driven back, actually. There's enough Marines.
So close.
Meanwhile, the drops in the main come back for round 2. Queens are trying to shoot them down out of the sky, but while the medevacs might pop, the Marines still unload and pushing from the front side simultaneously. There's a lot over here.
Well, the counterattack's still not cleaned up.
That's
like, again,
true.
if she had Burrow, that would be very annoying. The Lings should come back now, though. The tank's gonna get picked up. There's not a lot of mutas to target them down instantly, but there's also no Marines to fall back to, so eventually the mutas will tear all of these medevacs down. Go after them, go after them, go after them. Go after them. Oh, my God. Okay. There's only 4 mutas. That was really... It's too bad.
Jimwit asks if we missed his donation, and we absolutely did. I'm so sorry, man. That must have come during a break or something. Jimwit9 donated $5, and he said the difference between a peeping Tom and a pickpocket. I pickpocket snatches watches, or a pickpocket. A pickpocket snatches watches. Clever, incredibly lewd, but clever.
Yes, very lewd. But look at this game. Okay, thank you for the donation. But this game. It's going to be a very interesting one that is going to flip-flop back in Scarlett's favor. So far, she's taken the better engagements. So Drunkenboi only 10 supply up right now, I think means that Scarlett could actually win this game.
But hang on, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, and I agree, she's brought this back to a very nice part of the game. Now Drunkenboi's on even upgrades, and a lot of the fights going into this, he was behind. Like 2-2 versus 1-1 makes a huge deal, especially when it's so Ling heavy. But the Baneling handling, the Baneling wrangling has been pretty bad out of Drunkenboi this game, to be honest. And a lot of it done on creep doesn't help either. But this base gets killed, and the drone's all sure to die. The Mutila's trying to harass on the other side of the field, being driven back. Both players losing 9 workers apiece, but Drunkenboi only on 15 in total. These Marines are on creep once again. But the Banelings... Oh, what the stupid camera? Why? Okay. Banelings actually...
should be enough.
I think she's gonna do it. Drunkenboi
She's
doesn't
done
have the
it.
money. Are you for real? Scarlett!
All of his army supply is really in those medevacs. Now, Scarlett lost her entire army as well, but she had a bit of a bank to try and replenish him. She goes for mutas over banelings.
Start to finish. Baneling Nest instead of a Roach Warren, a messed up proxy, a game that Drunkenboi would have been ahead in, but it's not. Like, I really want to point this out here. Drunkenboi has been playing pretty well this game. I don't think he's made a ton of mistakes. You know, some of the basic stuff like getting caught in creep against banelings, yes, that sucks. But Scarlett has played this out really well to even get to this point where you could even potentially win.
Does she have any banelings? She has 2 banelings. 3
Sweet.
banelings?
She did make a new baneling nest.
Oh, they cannot be targeted by those liberators. They're in the liberating zone.
Medevac's gonna load in that mineral line. Other side of the map, she has shut down Monty on Drunkenboi's base, and he has 8 workers left to his name.
Dang, she's not exactly so good either on 38 workers, but that's obviously a lot better than 8. You need to come in here, clear up the Liberator. They're going to clear up some of these medevacs too, but the Marines did shred the Lings on the low ground. 20 more on the way.
Diving in
More
like this.
drones are being pulled.
Like she knows this is like the extent of his army.
22 supply. Drunkenboi's... How has this game gotten to here?
GG!
He lost. He just lost this game. He just lost the series. 2-0. Wait.
Oh, why is that so quiet? Hang on. One sec, guys.
Are you not entertained?
That's pretty much the summary of that series. All right, so Scarlett will advance in the brackets.